We have another question before us, again centered on communication in Christian family and home. I have had it with my husband. I need advice on what to do in this situation. My husband is not easy to talk to. If I have something that I want to talk about, like the budget of the family or something about our relationship, it seems to end up in big fights, anger, and outbursts. I reach out because I am at the point where I am resentful towards him. I don't want to be like that, but I am hot and tired of trying. I have had thoughts of leaving, that is divorce, but feel stuck because I am a believer and made a commitment. He is a good man and good father. So I wonder, am I just being too much or requesting too much? Well, if we look at the question of this, our sister here, I am so delighted with the way you round off your question, that your husband is number one, a good man, number two, a good father. So if your husband has these characteristics, then it appears that the problem is half solved. Let's quickly remind us that marriage is a project, a lifelong project, for a man and a woman to come together and live harmoniously for the rest of your life. It is a lifelong project. Number two, let's make it clear to you that there is no perfect marriage. We all work it out. There will be times of communication gap. There will be also times of misconception and misrepresentation in every home as in any organization. So the woman asking this question, my first pastoral counsel to you is that, one, you should be patient the more with this situation. Don't be tired of being patient. Two, you should look inward to yourself. Is anything wrong with my approach? Because when a matter keeps recurring itself over and over again, it may be the approach that is faulty. Three, have you studied your husband to know his peculiar temperament, his personality trait, his approach to issues? Four, what about the timing that you raise issues, especially in this time of harsh economic reality, where the man is under pressure to pay school fees, to pay house rent, almost becoming impossible, unsustainable to fuel the car, and woman, you are bringing some burden at such a time. If the timing is wrong, you may not likely get a positive response. So when you have looked at these four critical areas from your end, and you discover that you have a pass mark, then you should know that you are created to be a mother figure to your husband. Then you are also the prayer warrior to your husband. What you cannot do by mere speaking, you can do it by prayer. You now engage the weapon of prayers. This is very key and critical. And then let me also say that the purpose of marriage has four trusts. Number one, it is to live and cleave. You leave your father and your mother, you cleave to your husband, both of you become one flesh. Two, it is for the purpose of learning and covering. There are new things you are going to learn about your wife and your husband in the marriage. Each day you open a new chapter, you are going to discover a new lifestyle. So marriage is one school that you learn. Like somebody rightly said, in every training and vocation, you obtain certificate. after graduation, but marriage, you obtain certificate before enrolling because you never have graduation date. Every blessed day, depending on circumstances, you will keep learning, seeing new things, learning new things, and making new approaches. So the biblical principle, therefore, is to follow these 6 steps that I have just enumerated to you. When you follow these steps, where there is need, you may need to seek counseling. And in seeking counseling, you are seeking counseling from those who have cover, those who have fatherly role over your marriage, not your equal, not going to your office and then with your contemporaries. You say, see what my husband is doing. And they are giving you suggestions that will fuel crisis in your home, not minding that they too are going through worse things in their home. But you can go to those who have spiritual cover over you, those that can be able to look at your husband or look at your wife and say, sit down there. God should always give them to you. At every stage of your life, you should have such people. I have them, even as a minister. So it will help you to checkmate, because sometimes you might be innocently wrong. Until somebody checkmates you, you may not realize it. These are steps that we need to take, and we must improve communication in the home. Give room for dialogue. Give room for discussion. Raise observations, and husbands must be very, very patient in listening. Our wives could be more temperamental. They could be more emotional. That is how they are wired. So when you understand the wiring system of your spouse, relating and communicating becomes easier. So let us check all of these things. Then finally, we should also know that there are different tendencies, personality traits of everybody. Even after salvation, we have our various personality traits and tendencies. So we should study this so that we'll be able to live harmoniously, peacefully. Then if there are issues that you try to raise and it is generating tension, heat, debate, what do you do with that matter? Wisdom demands that you leave it for now. Give it time test. Leave it for 1 day. Leave it for 1 week. In fact, leave it for 1 month. At the appropriate time, circumstances will create itself to give you room to present yourself and have positive answer. And above all, as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. We must allow the Spirit of God to be at work on us, to lead us and to guide us. This is how to handle issues like this. I pray that as you follow this counseling and this answer, your home will be a better place to dwell in Jesus' name. God bless you.
We strongly believe that God has spoken to you through the ministration of the word with our Father in the Lord, Pastor Jacob ELEGUN. For inquiries, counseling, and prayer requests, please contact 0803 377 2529 or 0810 360 7003. This program is brought to you by Faith Contenders Revival Ministry. Be blessed.